let's do a quick review of what happened on Sunday night, and I'll show you a couple more projects I made. So on Sunday night, I introduced the Celebration kerchief card kit, and basically I went through what the kit is like, the contents of it, and I quickly put together one of each of the cards as instructed. Okay, and there's a color photo on the back with some assembly tips. And then I took one of those and made, I'm not sure where the first one is, but I showed you how to make a shaker card. And to make the shaker card, we used the this fun label die from the Painted Labels collection, and that does coordinate with the painted poppies that I'm using for our cards tonight. You can see it cuts out a little wreath, another label, and then it also cuts out some of the flowers and leaves in the stamp set. Okay, but we're not going to be using the dies tonight. And then I also combined both this and this are from the new mini catalog, these sequins that coordinate with the Painted Poppies suite. And then I used some of our adhesive strips, which make making the shaker cards so easy and fun. So we did that, and this is actually the second one I made, shaker card I made after the live. So a little bit different than the first one. Hi Patty and Vicky and Mary Lou. Okay. Rita, I think you're cutting paper, not paprika, right? Also, the kit comes with some fun decorative envelopes, so that's always neat. I did also, you know, a lot of times we talk about how can we take our basic card or the first card we made and change it up so that we just have something a little different. And a lot of times it's just a matter of turning the orientation from horizontal to vertical or vertical to horizontal. So basically it's the very same thing. I did give a tip though, that in the kit you get several labels, way more than you need. But the reason is they're printed in 3 different languages, so you're only going to use a third of the pre-printed labels. But I keep the other labels that are printed in the other languages, flip them over, and then stamp whatever grading I want in whatever color I want. So hang on to those. I mean, why not use them instead of throwing them away? Okay. And then I made these 2 scrapbook pages. Let me see if I can move some ink so I can show you. There's a delay, so I'm not sure yet if I'm getting them all on the same page on one screen. But anyways, I took one of the cards, I took 2 of the cards actually, and actually cut them apart. They are printed, they're printed like this with white in the middle. Now remember, I cut the inside out, cut the window out. But I cut one of these in half, 2 of them actually, and I used the back side for 2 of these, okay? And the front side, one I used on this card, I just put that on top of a Poppy Parade card base. And then the other one I decorated to use on this 2-page scrapbook layout. And I just layered it with Early Espresso and Petal Pink. This right here is actually an envelope I cut up. Okay, that's where I got the polka dots from. And this piece is the piece I cut out to make that window for my shaker card. So there's a couple of tips how you can just, you know, cut things up, change them up, rearrange them, layer them, and make some really fun, pretty things. Okay? And then, of course, here is another label that I should say here, you've got some Early Espresso leaves and gold leaves. The gold leaves came with the kit. The early espresso leaves are ones that I turned over, okay? Instead of using the gold side of the leaves, I turned this over, colored with an early espresso marker, punched them out, and now I have a different color leaf. Okay, so another way to use that. Also, I'm one of those people who will oftentimes use up this negative space. If you have little punches, you might punch little stars or hearts, whatever. But sometimes it's fun to hang on to these pieces and see if you can use them. And if I can't, or if I don't, or if I accumulate too much, I put them in my box for the littles, the little people, little crafters I know. And they always like to get fun things. Okay, so if you did not see Sunday's Facebook Live, I hope you'll go back and take a look. It also has been posted to my Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe blog, and a little bit edited version. It cut out some of that jibber jabber and pause at the beginning while I was sharing, etc. So tonight I'm going to show you some projects. Hi, Marion. Oh, thanks, Vicki and Pam. I'm glad you like them. Hi, Amelia. Hi, Patty. Mary Lou. I think I've said hello to everybody, but I'm glad you're all here. I'm going to show you a couple of easy cards, I'm going to say, and easy layouts using the Painted Poppies stamp set. And I'm going to ask for your help. Hi, Cindy. I'm going to ask for your help because Stampin' Up! Has a challenge for demonstrators. We have the opportunity to earn a free stamp set from the upcoming annual catalog. I believe it's the annual catalog that will start in June. And, you know, it's always great if we demonstrators can earn some free things. That helps us with our business. So I'm asking if you're interested, if you've seen other ideas or you like the ideas I share tonight. If you are interested in purchasing the Painted Poppies stamp set, I would appreciate it if you would do so and help me earn that free stamp set. Earning free products is also a way that I can save money, that I can purchase things to use as prizes and gifts and giveaways, that sort of thing. So anytime you can order with my host code, or just all your orders count. All your orders help a lot, but the host code helps a lot. And of course, if you can help me in any of the challenges. So let's get started. Very simple stamp set. People might look at this and think, oh, all that coloring, but I'm going to show you some tips to make it easy and less intimidating if you're somebody who does not like to color a whole lot. So, and tonight I'm also featuring the, let me see if I have an extra one here, sitting out. Tonight I'm featuring the 3.5 by 5 notebook or note cards and envelopes. Okay. When you fold these, the size is 3.5 by 5. They are a little bit smaller than our standard size, but they are still mailable. They come with 20 pre-cut and pre-scored note cards and 20 envelopes. And I believe the price is, $6 maybe. Very, very, very affordable. And I like that. If I have a lot of thank you notes to write, or if somebody's doing baby showers, or it can be anything at all, but they're just nice, quick, simple note cards to use. So here is the first card I made. You can see very simple layout, just 3 colors, and it went together super quickly because I used the pre-cut note cards and envelope. So I'm going to show you this now, and we're going to change it up a little bit. Okay, so I have here, and at the end, after this, after we make our projects, I have something to tell you and show you, and then I have a Tuesday tip that I want to share with all of you. So when I get finished with this, help me remember I've got something to the left of me and something to the right of me to show you. So I'm just going to use our Memento ink because I chose to color this with the Stampin' Blends markers. And we all know that Memento ink is the suggested ink that we use when we're coloring with Memento markers. Now you could also color with Stampin' Write markers, in which case I use this, even if I'm coloring a little bit with Stampin' Write markers. But you can also use the Stays On black ink for our regular markers, okay? And when I'm doing things like this, I like to start, and this color is Poppy Parade. I have it in both the light and dark. I prefer to start with the dark, whoops, I went right out there, didn't I? I prefer, and I might be able to clean that up with our color lifter. I prefer to go in with the dark shade first and then fill in with the lighter shade of the color. It's really just a matter of personal preference. The thing I like about doing it this way is if I decide, okay, I don't quite have enough blending or color or tone, what do I want to say, enough difference in tone, it's real easy for me to go back in and add a little bit more dark to bring some of that out even more. Okay, those different shades. And that's what we're going for when we use the blends, going for different shades of the same color. Let's see, now I have this color lifter. What this is supposed to do is help us when we make mistakes. I don't want to take a lot of time to do this, but it's kind of hard too because you have to let it dry a little bit when you're lifting the color off. But you can see it's kind of fading there. But I'm going to let that go for now, just so I'm not wasting our time together. And then I have Old Olive. And ladies, please don't worry about, being perfect in there. We do the best we can. We get as close as we can. You can see them off there a little bit. What my completed card is received by somebody, they're still gonna wow. Okay, so don't get all worked up. Now something like this, I don't want to send out that way. Okay. And it's still getting lighter, but need a little bit more work. Okay, and you can see the different shades of the Old Olive there. I would like to put, I don't want my flower hanging in mid-air, so I'm going to stamp some Old Olive. And I've got this splotchy stamp from the Painted Poppies stamp set. And I'm going to stamp off because I want it lighter than my stem. But I can just stamp around like that. And I like that better than it floating in mid-air. Hi, Kathy and Sharon. Thanks for being with me tonight. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I'm going to now mount this on a piece of basic black cardstock. Now instead of putting it on a black background like I did on the first card, I cut out some Painted Poppies paper, okay, or Peaceful Poppies, sorry, Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper. I can use it this way, or I could use the side that's more plain. What do you think? I think I want to use this side. Okay. If you are somebody that's in need of a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business, and I'd be happy to start off doing that by sending you catalogs if you need them. All you have to do is message me. You know what, this is kind of bothering me, and I'm trying to think, what can I do to fix it up a little bit? How about, I'm going to try something like this. Just kind of going in with some green here. I don't know. What do you think? Diane says the printed side. Great minds think alike, right, Diane? Oh, Mary Jo too, printed side. Okay, now on this one I have a ribbon, and this is part of the Painted Poppies, or Peaceful Poppies suite. Okay, it is Whisper White, but it's a very thin seam binding. Okay, seam binding is kind of a sewing term, type of material. But the wonderful thing about this is it can be colored. Now, I suggest that you color the ribbon with your Stampin' blends. And the reason I say that is the Stampin' blends are alcohol-based markers. These dry almost instantaneously, very, very quickly. And the color is then permanent. So when you're tying and working with the ribbon that you've colored, it won't be coming off on your fingers, although I already have lots of ink on me, don't I? Okay. And you know, if we get it on our fingers while we're tying bows and stuff, chances are we're going to smudge the card or get it on the envelope or something like that. Okay, this one really is bothering me. I might have to just, well, I can redo it later. So, what I want to show you now is how easy it is to color the seam binding. Oh, we've got 16 people on. Ladies, I'm happy about that. And keep sharing away. I'm so glad you're all here. You can even kind of just pull it through. Pull the ribbon along with your opposite hand. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going until I think I have a piece long enough to use on my card. Okay. Alrighty. And you can see it's already dry. It's not coming off on my hands at all. Okay. So that's why I prefer or suggest that you use the Stampin' blends versus our Stampin' Write markers when you're coloring this ribbon or any other kind of ribbon. Stampin' Write markers or Stampin' blends are also good for coloring embellishments, whether it be pearls or rhinestones, faceted gems, whatever it may be, because it does become permanent once it's colored. Well, I pulled that really, really tight, and that's now, while this stamp set is in the new mini catalog, do not forget that we have our biggest promotion of the year going on, which is promotion. And we have special incentives for people who, when they shop, when they host, and when they join Stampin' Up. So again, I would love to do any one or all three of those things for you. I'm always looking to expand my team. There are a number of team members watching right now. We are a great group. We're very supportive. We're very caring. We share everything. We don't compete with one another because we all want different things from being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So we really are. When I say we're a great group, I say that in all sincerity. We really are a great group. And it's kind of been my dream to have at least one demonstrator in each state. That's what I'm working towards. We'll see. but it's always nice to welcome people. And when we have, we meet on Facebook through Facebook Lives at times, and sometimes we meet in person. Not quite as much. We used to do it every month, but not quite as much because I have moved from Cincinnati to Columbus. So we're connecting in person a few times a year, but then we do Facebook Lives as well. So people who live far away can still participate. And even when we have an in-person meeting, we have somebody who's holding the phone and recording, doing the Facebook Live so that others can see as well during the live meeting. So pretty, except for my boo-boo there. Okay, but I like the way it turned out. Oh, sure, thanks. You like my coloring. Vicki, I'm glad you think it's lovely. Okay, let me show you something else. Again, everything's going to be from this one set. This time, I'm going to use, I got a whole lot of stamps mounted here. I'm going to use this collection of poppies. Now keep in mind too, you can make these flowers. Poppies typically are, the traditional or most commonly known ones are this poppy red color. So you might make yours with the Poppy Parade color or real red, but certainly you can make flowers of any color. Now I'm just going to stamp a series of this straight across. I want to fill in the whole thing. But the other thing is, the stems don't go to the edge of the rubber. I want my stems to go off of the cardstock. Okay. Hi, Catherine. So the only thing I'm concerned with right now is making sure I have the stamp low enough that I'm going just past the bottom of the cardstock. It just looks a little neater, a little nicer, because your things aren't necessarily floating in mid-air. And sometimes that's the purpose, but usually on a collection of things, we don't have them floating in mid-air. So now I can go back in and do some coloring with my blends. And this is going to be super cute, but super fast. And I don't usually work this fast, but I just want to show you, this is the type of stamp set that, how do I describe, the paper and the stamp set, kind of think of like Monet art, sort of like that, where it's not perfect. It's just kind of more like carefree images. You know, you can picture the poppies kind of dancing around in the field or blowing in the wind. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of Poppy Parade. I'll try not to go outside of the line this time. During celebration, for every $50 purchase, there's no limit, so each $50 that you order in product, you can choose a level 1 celebration item. If you make a $100 purchase, you can choose a level 2 item. So if you say, for example, do a $150 order, you can get 3 level 1 products, or you can get a level 1 and a level 2 product. So that's always fun. And I'm working on some samples of different things from the celebration brochure. So I'll be introducing many of those soon. Right now, as far as celebration goes, I'd say the gangs all here, the little meerkats, those look like they might be the most popular right now. They are fun little guys. one of my customers ordered yesterday, and that is what she chose for her free item. I can't think what the other person chose from yesterday. Okay, so you get the idea, just filling in like that, right? I am going to, again, add some green, and this time I think I might use Mossy Meadow instead of Old Olive. Oh, Pam, you forgot to order the paper. The paper is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I do want to stamp off just because I don't want it terribly, terribly dark. Looks like I might need some more ink on this ink pad. Just to add some color along the bottom as well. Now I have an idea of how to fill in some of that, what I'm going to call the sky. Can anybody guess what my thought is for filling that in? How I might do that? I'm not going to use markers on it. Anybody? I'm going to use an ink pad and a sponge dauber. Here's a neat little thing. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this. We sell the daubers. But I got this case. Don't ask me where because I don't remember. But I'm sure you can look for it on like Amazon or Google or something. A sponge dauber container or something. But I like this. I found this online somewhere. And I like this because everything's in order and I can just pick and choose. And I don't have to worry about washing these out each time I use them. But I do love our sponge daubers. Okay, and now when you're daubing, please start light because it can get very dark. So just very, very lightly touch the paper. And it's okay that I go over these images. And then I might get into the green somewhat, right? The other thing, when you press a little hard, it's easy to get, you know, to see the circles where you might not want to see the circles. Although I will tell you, maybe I should do this on a piece of scrap paper. One fun thing to do with the daubers is make polka dots. You can make your own designer series paper or your own pattern with our sponge daubers, just like this. I'm doing mine kind of in a pattern, but you could also do them randomly. So that's another fun way to use the daubers. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. Set my balmy blue ink aside. And you can see too, the difference in the color from pressing very lightly as opposed to pressing dark. 17 people on tonight. Everybody, help me out and just right now click share and we'll see if anybody else jumps back on, or jumps on, I should say. Is there anybody who's watching that's brand new to me, has never watched one of my lives before? Okay. I'm just curious. It's not good or bad. It's just curiosity. Okay, so I have this. In fact, I feel like it's cut a little bit long. So I'm going to pull out my trimmer. Shar, thanks for sharing. Catherine, thanks for sharing. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is what I have, and this will be basically the base of my card. I sort of feel like it needs something more. What do you think? I think what's missing is another layer behind the white strip. Okay, thanks Patty for sharing. So I'm going to add some, that's a card base, I don't want to use that. I'm going to add some Poppy Parade behind this. And can I tell you too that these are super, super simple card layouts. But with just having the basics, you can mix them up, change them around, make them use the same layout for larger cards and with different sets, all that. So just because I show it to you one way doesn't mean we want to limit ourselves to that. Okay, I think this will give it a punch of color. And somebody said, Pam said add ribbon. I think Pam likes ribbon as much as I do. But I think just adding this piece of Poppy Parade cardstock behind that and against the black makes it all pop a little more, and no pun intended. Also with these layouts, you can add sentiments to the inside of your card, or you can stamp and punch sentiments and place them in different places along your card fronts. Okay, I think that's pretty. I'll just have to remember to color in those other poppies though. Don't want to send it out half done, right? Thanks everybody for sharing. Okay, and I am going to just make a quick bow in the poppy color. Does anybody have this Whisper White seam binding from the mini catalog? I love it. Just the fact that we can color it with our Stampin' blends makes it so versatile. And seam binding is very, very thin and light, so it makes tying bows and knots very easy. I just like to play around with my loops and ends until I get them the way I want them. Actually, I think I'm going to go a little smaller than what I originally intended. Okay, pretty good. It wasn't even at all. Boy, am I tired today. Is anybody else really tired? It's only Tuesday. I've got a couple of really, really busy weeks coming up. I'm hosting my Creative Escape Weekend in Cincinnati, starting the 17th. And then the following weekend, I have a 3-day vendor event that I'm doing in Northern Kentucky. Be my 3rd year there. Okay, and I'm going to adhere this. I always like to adhere with the bows with some glue dots. And I'm going to use a piercing tool just to pick these up. These are glue dots that were left over from my paper pumpkin kit. I think one should do it. And I just adhere the bow right at the knot. I put the knot on that glue dot. This might be a little too big. Okay, there, I like it just like that. Okay, what do you think? Do I get any thumbs up or hearts? Anything like that? Okay, now I'm going to do one more for you. And this time, boy, I have stuff everywhere. this time, oh, let me give you another tip. When you stamp on an envelope and you want to color your envelope with the Stampin' Blends markers, please put a piece of scrap paper into the envelope, because Stampin' Blend markers will bleed through the paper. It doesn't get on anything else, but it just doesn't look pretty on the back side. So I always like to put a piece of scrap paper behind it. But especially on envelopes. And you know, a lot of times when we're coloring on our cardstock, we're going to mat that on something else, on another piece of cardstock, so we don't have to worry about it. But envelopes, nope. So you do want with envelopes, you do want that piece of scrap paper between the front and the back side of your envelope. Okay. All right. So on the next card, we're going to be stamping another flower, a couple of flowers. Thanks for sharing, Shar. Love the decorated envelopes. I totally agree, Marion. Okay, on the next one, I'm again going to use the Memento black ink. I'm not coloring with Stampin' Blends this time, but I will be adding color to my flowers. But I won't be coloring with markers or Stampin' Blends or color pencils. Just wait till you see what I'm gonna do. Go like that. Okay, then I'm also going to stamp some of the leaves in the black. And I'm just, basically what I'm doing is just trying to fill in space. And it's okay if these overlap each other. It's not a problem at all. Trying to decide how I want to do that. And I'll do this. It's pretty random the way I'm doing this, okay? All right, I'm gonna set that aside, close up my black. Now I'm going to take this, I don't know what you call it, splotchy thing. Welcome, Teresa. Okay, this time I'm gonna pull out some Rich Raspberry ink. And I'm going to use this, try it on a piece of scrap paper. Okay, I'm going to use this splotchy thing to fill in my flowers. And it doesn't have to be all filled in exactly. Okay, and it's certainly okay if it overlaps with the leaves. Now I'm going to fill in the leaves a little bit. We have this other splotchy, I don't even know what to call these. Do you have a good name for them? And this time I think I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow instead of the Old Olive. So this gives it more of a, oh, what's the word, like shabby chic look or eclectic look. I'm even going to fill in some of these white spaces with the green. And I think the more I fill in the white spaces with the green, the more it makes that rich raspberry really pop. But you can still see the image of the leaves throughout. Okay? And this is one of those cards. Yes, Teresa, you're right. Easier than coloring. Teresa, you're from Northern Arkansas. Okay. My sister has some family out in Arkansas, but I don't know what part. I'll have to ask her. But you're right, easier than coloring. Do you have children that like to craft with you, or grandchildren, or could you babysit? They can do this. They can do this. And what a great way to start kids on paper crafting, by letting them get their hands inky and dirty and having fun and creating on their own. And you would be surprised, what an amazing job kids do when you just let them go like that. Now this we could put on here. I think we need something to back it, or we can use the black. What do you think? Or we could do this. Let me pull out some other colors. I'll pull out some Mossy Meadow. And I'll pull out some okay, so I pulled out Mossy Meadow and some rich raspberry. So let's just play with these a little bit. I appreciate that you all like to see my, I don't know, what do you want to say, like the thought process behind how I craft. Ooh, I like that. Or I like this. Okay, somebody name the layers. You tell me what you want to see. Name the layers that you want to see. I'll start with the stamped and then choose 2 more colors. Which will be mounted? Which color will be mounted behind the stamped images? Okay, Shar says black and mossy. So the black behind, Shar, is that what you're thinking? And black and raspberry, okay. I need to trim this just a little bit shorter. And this is 2 inches wide, so I'm going to go with 2 1/8. And then for the Mossy Meadow, I will need a piece that measures, let me think a second, 4 7/8. I'm just going, remember this, the note cards are 5 inches by 3.5 inches. So my big layer is going to be 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. I'm just going down 1/8 of an inch on each of the long sides. At times I've had people ask me, well, how do you decide if you're going to do a narrow border like here, or let's see, or a little bit larger border like this one? And I say it's just a matter of personal preference. I use both. The reason I chose the narrow border is because of the images themselves have very narrow lines. And I just felt it was more petite, dainty looking with the narrow line, so that's why I went with the smaller border. Okay, Char, let's put together your card. Now, some of you are playing favorites with rich raspberry, which is also very tempting to use. So this is what it looks like on the green. Oh, I crinkled that corner. Okay. And then this is what it looks like on the raspberry. I kind of like it on the green because it makes these stand out a little bit better, in my opinion. Of course, it's just whatever you like. You could even mount it twice. Oh, should we do that? Let's do that. Let's try that. I'm not sure if this piece is long enough. I need it to be then 2 1/4. By 4 3/4. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, that's not right. I cut it too short. It should be 4 7/8. See what happens when I change things up? Here we go. 4 7/8. No, 4 7/8 because it's going all the way across. 4 7/8 by 2 1/4 this time. I do just like that it when it's on the green, it just makes, I think it makes the rich raspberry flowers pop out a little bit more. Oh, ladies, we have 19 people on. This makes me happy. I would like to see my numbers grow, grow, grow each time that I get on. Things got a little slow over the holidays. I spent a lot of time with family, and then when I was on, a lot of other people were probably spending time with their families, but I think everybody's back in reality mode and wanting to get in the swing of things. And I don't know about you, but being on a regular schedule sure helps me. Okay, and there it is with both colors. Thanks for sharing, Marilyn. Okay. I'm going to add something else. Now again, none of these have sentiments on, which is perfectly okay. There's no reason every card has to have a sentiment or a greeting. A lot of times it's nice to have ones made up without sentiments. And if you just want to write somebody a note, you can do that. Or if you think, oh, I need a birthday card and she loves purples, I'm going to use this card. Simply add a sentiment. Super easy. So I don't always put sentiments on mine right away. I'm going to add some Wink of Stella here to the center of these flowers. Kind of picks up some of that purple, you can see, so you'll want to make sure to clean it off. Okay, maybe I'll do a little bit more. And somebody's going to say to you, you know, you make this and give it away. Somebody's going to say, oh, wow, that's incredible. How did you make it? And you're going to tell them, it's so easy. You should come stamp. Okay. What do you ladies think? Shar, I think you're right. It makes the poppies pop. Okay, what do you think? Like the cards from today? Okay, good. And okay, so that's that. That is the painted poppies. No, peaceful. Let me think. Now I'm getting myself all mixed up. It's the Peaceful Poppies. Yes, I'm right. It's the Peaceful Poppies Suite, but the Painted Poppies stamp set. Okay, and I'm trying to sell several of these so that I can get a free stamp set. One that's not out yet. It'll be in the next annual catalog starting June, and I'm hoping to sell enough of these that I can get that free stamp set from Stampin' Up. And I'm sure other people on my team are working to do that as well, which is exciting. Okay, couple more things. I am really inky. Something I want to show you, and then I'm going to give you what I think is a terrific Tuesday tip. Okay. I have already sent out an email and advertised that I am doing the, Pam, I have not seen the new stamp set yet. I don't know what it is. And I am this year I'm going to be doing more classes to go. I started doing some last year and had some pretty good luck with them, and I would like to continue to build that as part of my business. So the one I have currently going is the From My Heart Suite. And let me tell you about this, because I'm going to tell you what you're going to get with the kit. You are going to get cardstock to make 10 cards, to each of these 5, and I'll show them to you. You're going to get cardstock that's already cut and scored to make 4 mini cards, and envelopes included on all the cards, no matter the size. And then you'll also get directions to make some gift tags, which would be great for putting on boxes of chocolates at Valentine's time, or just to stick in a lunchbox, or on a small gift, or flowers to give to somebody. I love this one. So lucky to have a friend like you. But with all of that, you are also going to get a full package of the From My Heart Designer Series paper. You will get a full package of the heart doilies, and you will get a full package of From My Heart faceted gems. So full package of the DSP, and then 2 embellishments to go with it. And by the way, there's 40 doilies in here, 20 each of 2 colors, Flirty Flamingo and Real Red. So let me just show you these cards. These standard size cards, your kit will allow you to make 2. So I will give you the card bases and any other cardstock you need. You'll get a PDF tutorial. And yeah, that's basically it. And those supplies I told you about, the paper and the 2 embellishments. So here's one card. I like this. So lucky to have a friend like you. Being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do both. That so sounds like me and my friends. It's a specialty designer series paper because some of the sheets have the foil, the red foil, okay? Here's another one, and I've used a doily there. Okay, you can see I've been stamping the envelopes too. This one I cased from Mary Fish, I believe. Okay, so there's another one. 2 of these 5 cards are actually fun fold cards. Here's one of them, a joy fold card. With the kit, you'll make 2 of these as well. And then also a Z fold card. Also make 2. So each of the 5 I just showed you, you're going to make 2 of each of them. Okay. Then you're going to make the 4 mini cards and the 4 tags. These would also make cute bookmarks for children, you know, going to school. Okay. Teresa, your question, does it go with the Poppies set? I'm not sure which. Are you talking about the free set? No, it's something brand new that I don't know what it will be. So yes, we sell 4 of the Poppy sets, and we can earn a free new stamp set that's yet to be released. Okay, so you get all that plus the DSP plus the 2 embellishments, $45. So it's a great deal. You do need the From My Heart bundle, which is the stamp set and the punches. Okay, and you can add that to your class purchase, or you can buy those on your own, whatever. When you add it to the class purchase, I'm charging you just the catalog price for the bundle, which is the $45.75. And if you order that with the class You do not have to pay extra shipping either because I use the flat rate shipping. So, and it's great for Valentine's, it's great for friendship, it could be used for anniversaries, bridal showers, weddings, whatever, okay? Oh, you can also buy just the tutorial. People who are on my team, this is new this year and I announced it last month. Anytime I write up tutorials, you can get them on our team Facebook group as soon as I post them. This one is not posted yet, but it will be soon. Okay, so that's that. If you're interested, let me know. Now I told you I wanted to give you a Tuesday tip. Okay, so here it is. We know how wonderful our stamp cases are, right? That holds our stamps. What I like to do is, I'm putting this all back together. So when I am preparing, and usually I'm not using all of the stamps at once, but for this Facebook Live, I used all but 2. So there are a lot. But I tend to just, you know, as I use them, I clean them with the chamois and put them here. And that way they're stored. I don't take them on and off until I'm completely finished with the project. Now, right beside the open stamp set, and these are just sitting to the right on my workstation. It looks like this, moved into the corner. I've discovered that, have you been doing this? Do you own the Simply Chamois? This wonderful, wonderful thing? How quickly and easily it cleans our stamps. Just tap the stamps into the chamois. It's just wet with water, so you don't have any sprays or any kind of chemical or anything like that to use. And it just pulls the ink right off. Super simple, easy way of cleaning up. So if you don't have it, I highly suggest it for $8. I like to put mine in a clear case. And then this is old retired designer series paper, but I just cut it to size and slide it in the sleeve. And that way, when it's closed, it's something pretty to look at instead of, ugh. Okay, but is good. That means you're using it. It will be, your chamois will be permanently stained, but that's a good thing. Okay, I love the chamois. Now, I've also discovered that 2 ink pads can sit there on the other side of that chamois. And I like that because my chamois are not sliding around and moving around. Okay, a couple of times, I think it was Inez commented, Mary, I'm worried about you putting your arm in the ink pad, you know, that kind of thing. And it has happened. Okay, so just a little tip. I also have a personalized stamp that I got many, many years ago that I stamped the back of my cards with. And I have that laying right at the side also, so I don't have to go looking for it. Now, if I have extra ink pads I'm using a lot, I might stack the other ones and have one open. It just depends on how many I'm using at one time. Typically, I'm not using more than 2, maybe 3. But sometimes I pull a whole lot out, especially when I'm doing Facebook Lives. Okay. Yes, I agree, Shar. I hope they keep that chamois forever. Okay, any questions? Okay, do not leave yet because I would like to know what kinds of things you would like to see in future Facebook Lives. And this time I'm asking for products. We have lots of new products from the mini catalog as well as the celebration brochure. And tonight I'm going to give you a chance to tell me what you would like to see. Is there a product suite or a stamp set, designer series paper, something like that, that you would enjoy seeing presented in one of my Facebook Lives? Okay, I want to take some requests here. All right. Any requests? Okay, if not, I'll have to think of something on my own. All right, thanks for joining me. If you liked this Facebook Live, oh, Marion wants to see the honeybees. I have been working on another class to go for that. So I'm really excited about it. So yes, I can definitely show some of that very soon. The lilies. Okay. Oh, yeah, the lily pads from the celebration you're talking, Vicki, I think. Okay, I'll get to work on that. I do have that as well. All right, so I will be back Tuesday, but on my Stampin' Piece VIP group. If you enjoy these videos and would like to see more, please go to the VIP group. The VIP group is one place, the tulips, okay, is one place that I often present challenges in that people can earn a prize or be entered into a drawing for a larger prize, things like that. I only do the challenges on my VIP group, and there is one going on right now. If you're not part of the VIP group, all you have to do is look up, search in Facebook Stampin' Piece VIP group, and request to join. I'll approve you. Make sure you're not one of those spam people, which you're not if you're watching me now. And you would be approved, and there you go. So Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Stampin' Piece VIP group. And if you like my projects and like my Facebook Lives and my blog, whatever, please share it and invite your friends to like my page and join my VIP group. Thank you all for being with me. Have a great week and a great night. And now I'm going to go watch some Jeopardy. I know it was on earlier, but I had my daughter record it because I was just kind of curious what it would be like with this big championship thing going on. So take care. Please let me know how I can serve you. Good night.